What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. So, I don't know if anybody has seen this or follows, I guess, off-season basketball the way I do, and follow, like, players the way I do, and follow just, whether it be rumors or reports or interviews. But anyway, with that being said, so Giannis did an interview with, I believe Fox out in Milwaukee, if I'm not 100% completely correct on that. But anyway, it wasn't Milwaukee, it was Fox 32 Chicago. So in that interview, he just basically made a statement saying things like, I think anyone, if you asked them the question, who played basketball, who would they want to play for? And he mentioned the Chicago Bulls. And to my surprise, he actually said something that shocked me. It was because the type of player that Giannis, shows to be is loyal. The type of player that he expresses to Milwaukee is loyal. We seen that in him signing that ultra super max deal a few years ago, which makes him an unrestricted free agent in the year 2026. The deal that I'm mentioning pushes his salary to close to $51 million in the year 2025. So in this interview, he's mentioning things like maybe down the road he'll play for the Bulls, or somewhere along those lines, right? Now, as a Bulls fan myself, I don't know if I said that on this channel as of yet, but as a Bulls fan myself, I wasn't too excited when I heard the news. I wasn't jumping out of my seat. I wasn't running for the door. I was not, screaming to the top of my lungs, i.e. Patrick Beverley, when they got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I was somewhat, like I said, surprised. Because one, like I said, the type of player that Giannis is, loyal, and the Bulls are not, I'm not going to say are not in position, but when I look at Chicago currently, and I look at what Giannis, listen, if we're talking about 5 years, let's say we're talking about 5 years from now, and the landscape of the NBA is going to be, we all know it's going to be totally different. We're talking about an NBA where LeBron is not going to be around. We're talking about 5 years from now. LeBron is not going to be around. Now, if LeBron is around 5 years from now, I will be amazed. But anyway, this video is not about that. This video is about Giannis potentially joining the Chicago Bulls. And 5 years from now, will Zach still be there? 5 years from now, we know the DeRozan may not be with the Bulls anymore. We know it's a listen, even though he's young, it's a long stretch that Lonzo might not be there anymore. So I'm saying, like, currently, if Giannis was to join the Bulls tomorrow, I would be absolutely excited. I would be saying championship. No doubt about it. Giannis, with the core that we have right now, if he was to join them, they would be the favorite to win it all. That's just the way I would see it. That's the way I would say it. I don't care what a ESPN or a Fox or listen, I don't care what any other talking head would have had to say. If Giannis was to join the Bulls as they currently are put together, championship. But we're talking about the future. We're talking about down the road. And, currently, could I see a scenario? I mean, listen, Milwaukee isn't that far from Chicago. I don't know if anybody has ever been. I don't know if, you actually been to Well, you seen it in the playoffs, right? I mean, if you watch the series between the Bucks and the Bulls, it was games where when the Bulls would score, you would hear like a response from the crowd because that's how close Chicago is to Milwaukee. I mean, it's not a hop, skip, and a jump, but it's not a far drive. Like, it's really not. So you would get that. So if Giannis was to join the Bulls, he would, I'm not gonna say hated, but there would be a lot of dislike for a lot of Bucks fans towards him. You know, they would not like their franchise player going over the lake to basically their rival. Like I said, like Giannis was just mentioning things like about Michael Jordan's legacy, about, you know, the multiple championships, about, you know, Dennis Rodman, which was a surprise. I thought a guy like him would mention more Scotty, but you know, a lot of people don't mention Scotty, and I, for one, listen, as a basketball player, love Scottie Pippen, love him. He definitely was a vocal point, along with a lot of other players that played during the Bulls runs of the 90s. He was a vocal point. But Scottie Pippen, the retiree, the retired player, he don't know what team he played for, obviously. But that's another conversation for another day. He don't know who was wearing number 23 standing next to him in the heat of battle. But again, I digress. But yeah, could I see a scenario where Giannis Antetokounmpo is a Bull? It's like I said, it's putting me at a I'm not gonna say at a crossroad, but it's putting me at a point where I'm saying to myself, like, if Giannis was to join the Bulls in the future, how would they build around him? You know, it's like we look at the league. Like, I look at the league now. I look at the league today, and I'm looking at certain teams, and I'm looking at certain players, and I'm like, well, that works there because of this. And, you know, last year, what we saw with Milwaukee, you know, them losing Chris Middleton, even though they did get past the Bulls, we saw what happened when they didn't have Chris Middleton and Giannis had to do more. Drew Holiday had to do more. They had to ask more of their supporting cast, the Bobby Portis of the world, you know, and that's asking a lot, right? And I look at the Bulls, like I said, currently, how they are currently put together. If you drop Giannis on that roster, man, that is something to see. That's something, like, honestly, that's something out of a video game. If you drop Giannis on that roster, how it is right now, I'm talking about with a healthy Lonzo, a healthy Zach, DeRozan at that level. I would put Giannis at the 4, Vucevic at the 5. I know a lot of Bulls fans do not like Vucevic, but I mean, he has proven himself, albeit that was in his years in Orlando. But I mean, he's a big man that can shoot, can rebound when you ask him. The only problem is defense, and if you add a player like Giannis to that, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about defense leaning on Vucevic as much. But I'm talking presently. Giannis was mentioned in future because, again, this is that would be 2025, right? So we're talking about what, 3.5 years from now. So I mean, we will see how things unfold. Like I said, it would be shocking to me if Giannis would even consider leaving Milwaukee. You know, everything is there for him. He has all his brothers are there. It's just like it's his town. And you know, I haven't said that in a long time about a player in Milwaukee since, I mean, even the days of Ray Allen being in Milwaukee, you know, and then him going to Seattle. I didn't think that was Ray Allen's town. I mean, he was the star player, but when you think of the Bucks, you instantly think Greek Freak. That's the first thing that comes to your mind, you know. So Like I said, man, I'm of course we're gonna follow. I'm gonna follow and see where this thing goes. Of course, I appreciate everybody tuning in, watching, listening, liking. Don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. Don't forget to comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. Please do not forget to subscribe. I'm almost reaching one of my beginning milestones, which is 100 subscribers. And at 100 subscribers, I'm definitely going to be doing an NBA style giveaway. I don't know exactly what it will be yet. It could be, memorabilia, whatever it is. It's definitely going to be memorabilia from your favorite team, no matter who it is, who wins. So keep in mind of that. Definitely listen out for that and look out for that. It's Astronaut H. It's the What More Do You Want Network. I'll catch you guys on the next video.